So, Jack, what does the Bible say about the rapture?
Yep, the Bible talks about the rapture in several locations. People need to understand something, that if they are reading an English Bible, Charlie, they will not find the word rapture. Somebody will say, the word rapture is not in the Bible. The word rapture is not in the English Bible. The word rapture is found in the Latin Bible. And so the King James translators, for example, they understood that the English, the best that we can do for the English to relate to the word rapture or rapturus in Latin is two-word compound. In the English, it's caught up. We will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18. It's in the Bible.
Okay, so this clip has actually appeared in my feed before, and this pastor goes on to say that we need to read the Bible at face value, and we need to stop reading things into the Bible. And if we do that, we will never go astray. So the implication is that if we just weren't ignorant of that Latin translation of the Bible, and if we would stop reading things into Scripture, then we would agree with him. But there's a lot of problems with that. First of all, this particular understanding of the rapture that this pastor is promoting is a minority view in church history. And this particular interpretation of 1 Thessalonians 4 is virtually unheard of for the majority of church history. That's not to say that it's necessarily wrong, but someone who holds this view should at least have enough humility to hold their view a bit loosely and to seek out the best arguments from other godly, spirit-filled interpreters of Scripture. When I approach this passage, when I teach this passage, I like to remind people Palm Sunday, in which King Jesus is arriving at the holy city, and he is met outside the city by crowds crying Hosanna and waving palm branches and throwing their cloaks on the ground and greeting him as he enters. And they accompany him back to the city. They don't wait for him to make it to the city gates. And in the ancient world, it was considered really disrespectful or dishonorable to see a king approaching your city from afar and just to allow him to make that journey all by himself. But rather, you would go out and you would celebrate him and welcome him and join him and accompany him back to the city as a kind of greeting committee. And so the more traditional understanding of 1 Thessalonians 4 is that when King Jesus comes, he's coming to establish his kingdom on this earth. He's not coming secretly and then coming again after that with the saints later, but there's one second coming in which Jesus is arriving on this earth to establish his messianic kingdom here forever, and that saints from all over the globe are going to be raptured up, snatched up, not away from the earth into the heavenly realm, but into the clouds, into the air to meet the Lord, to greet him, and then as this great army of saints to triumphantly descend with him to the earth to establish his kingdom. And I think this is very consistent with the details of 1 Thessalonians 4, where this doesn't seem to be a secret event. It seems to be more of a public spectacle in which there is this voice of command and the voice of the archangel and the trumpet of God, and then the masses of saints rising into the air to meet and greet the Lord and accompany him to the New Jerusalem as Jesus comes to establish his kingdom on earth. Here's the thing, though. Whatever view you ultimately take, I would just say be aware of other perspectives, hold your view with humility, and don't imply that if people just read the Bible, they would always agree with you.